So, hello everyone, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racy, and I'm going to be giving the messages for everyone today. These are the Manifesting Union secret code names for the new moon in Libra. These code names were paid for in advance, so if you got one, you know what code name is yours. If you did not, then you know which code name has resonated to you or has jumped out at you. There's most likely a message in there for you to take away from it, okay? With that said, guys, there's a few things that I do want to address cosmically speaking, because I know that I'm not doing the cosmic currencies on all of the social media anymore. I'm doing it just on Patreon, but I did want to talk about a couple of the things to do with this new moon, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's really intense, and I'm sure everybody's feeling it. So the sun and moon, and the actual new moon is tomorrow. All right, this is the 15th of October, but the actual new moon is tomorrow at exactly 3:31 p.m. Eastern time. The sun and moon are in opposition essentially to Mars and Eris, with Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto T-squaring them. And Lilith is getting in on it. It's wonderful. So and they're all kind of aspecting the nodes too, which is even more on top of that. Mercury's retrograding in opposition to Uranus, with Juno in there. White moon's playing a huge role, and the only challenge it's having, right? White moon's the good karma. Whatever the only challenge is this Chiron retrograde in Aries energy, and it's being affected by all of this other stuff. So moving forward from this new moon, because the part of the self that we're embracing is the balanced part of ourself, the light part of ourself. And that is triggering a lot of us to have to undo past missteps or errors in character, right, where we were not in our best light, even if other people deserved our shittiness, you know what I mean? Or you just weren't aware at the time, right? You weren't seeing it like you're seeing it now in hindsight. And it's just difficult, right? It's just difficult to own up to the fact that maybe you made a mistake, you know? It's a lot of the energy that's going on. And getting through those doors, being able to put the pride aside for a moment, or put the blame aside for a moment, and just reflect solely on yourself and your own choices of words and actions, and be like, you know what, that's really not acceptable. From me, of myself, like, that's really not acceptable. So if I can reconcile that, rectify that, resolve that, repay that, whatever it is, acknowledgement, right? Whatever you can do to acknowledge it, it makes it a whole lot easier on the other side of this energy, because it's very difficult getting hit with the karma if you're not making decisions from a balanced place that's fearless. Right, and I know Tanya Abbey has been talking a lot about that. If you guys are following me on MeWe, all of my description's updated. It's all updated, new description. All of my MeWe family is also in the Ascension team. That group is there. You can find me and Tanya Abbey both in there. We're both on MeWe. So, if you're feeling a lot of aches, if you're feeling additional, like, just body aches, but like headaches, migraines, wonkiness, dizziness, having weird fucking dreams because Jupiter is sextiling on Neptune, with all of this energy, just know that this too shall pass. It's gonna be a real intense couple weeks, like real intense, but we will all survive it. We will all survive it. All right, getting into the actual secret code names, okay? Because this is Manifesting Union, and I'm using my mermaid, my Oracle of the Mermaids. I'm using my 13 Tarot. I don't know who the author is because it's not on the box, but this is the 13 Tarot that I'm using. I'm also going to be using my Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So, and this is my Oracle of the Mermaids deck, so you guys know what I'm using. Secret code names are Roadrunner, Saguaro, like the cactus, Genesis, King of Swords, Crackerjack, like the prize, Ballerina, Golden Truth, Virility, Ink Blot, and Violet Submarine. All right, there's 10 code names. It's Roadrunner, Saguaro, Genesis, King of Swords, Crackerjack, Ballerina, Golden Truth, Virility, Ink Blot, and Violet Submarine. Okay, that's the order. We're going to do all 10. For those of you who are doing intention candles or want to know what intention candles are, I put a post about them up in the community board. I'm doing that for tomorrow for the actual new moon. So if anybody wants an intention candle, you can check that out. And the community post or on MeWe, I have all the information there. Okay? Description has everything else that you need. Roadrunner. All right. So, manifesting union. We're talking about that. We're going to start at the 6-minute mark. Manifesting union comes from within the self, right? There's a certain amount of self-mastery where your head space and your heart space have figured out how to communicate, and not just to communicate, but to agree on what does and doesn't belong in there. So we're going to see what the outside trigger is. Okay. We're going to see what the outside trigger is that would put you into an imbalanced state, right? So that you can identify it in advance. So you can feel that energy come up and be like, you know what? This is where the test was, right? This is where the test was. And I can overcome it. And I'm going to give you how, right? I'm going to give you the guidance cards on how. So, using my 13 tarot, Spirit, please, for secret code name Roadrunner. The secret code name Roadrunner, and those who would be drawn to its message. What is the trigger? What is the external trigger seeking to imbalance the self, Roadrunner? What is the external trigger to trying to set them off balance? Take these ones. All right. Got the 6 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups. With the 3 of Swords on the bottom. And the Chariot on top. All right, listen. The underlying issue is the universe needs you to believe in miracles and stop focusing on heartbreak energies, things that go wrong. That's number 1. You got to believe in miracles, which means you also have to believe in creating miracles for yourself, right? If you feel like you need a miracle in your personal life, you have to be of the mindset that miracles exist and that you create miracles. 6 of Swords is about moving forward out of mentally disturbing or anxiety-filled or stress-filled situations and environments. Ace of Pentacles is starting a new foundation. 5 of Cups is feeling disappointed because of the 8 of Cups, which is walking away unfulfilled. The trigger, I think the trigger that's knocking you off balance is that you feel if you leave a mentally taxing situation in order to start a new beginning, that emotionally you're going to feel like you lost out and that you moved away from something that was emotionally fulfilling when it wasn't. Okay? Because it wasn't emotionally unfulfilling. That's not why you would move forward. It's because it was too much mentally. It was too much to handle. I think that every time you move forward and try and start over, you might get pulled back into almost like a depressive energy that feels like you need to move forward from the depressive energy. But when you move forward from the depressive energy to get out of the mental stress of it and start the new beginning, you realize that you can't do that, right? It's depressing. Every time you try and move away from it, it's actually depressing. So you maybe stop trying to move away from the negative, stressful thought, in the sense that even though the thought itself is still there, it's a matter of how you choose to look at it. Like, are you going to apply a miracle mindset? You know, the Roadrunner being the code name, they're super fast to want to move forward, right? They're super fast to want to move forward, but they're in the fucking desert. Like, where are they going? They're going to the same place that looks like the same place they were just at. Like, it's desert all around. You know what I mean? It's, and if you think about the cartoon even, you know, like, you always have someone after you trying to get you. It's like, it's the same thoughts. And even though they never take you down, you know, it's not like they're winning and defeating you. It's just they're always there after you. And so it's like, you need to get out of the desert mindset. You need to get out of that desert mindset. And the desert is a waterless place, and water being the element of emotion. You know, it's this place where you really maybe need to love yourself enough to believe in miracles and create miracles in your life. And create miracles in your life. By believing in them and going for it. And not capping yourself mentally and emotionally because the movement's not actually coming like physically for you to manifest, which comes from the union within the self, right? Your mind and your heart saying, no, I have to maintain miracle mindset and focus on what I need to focus on right now to make my day easier. You know what I mean? So I'm not stressing about my everyday life and focus on that and leave the rest to the divine. That life serves you. Alright, so what do we need to know, Spirit, please, about the actual unfoldment of the events? Because this is the external trigger, right? That's what's going on inside the mind that would take you off out of balance. It might very much be linked to an environment, an actual environment. But I think it's more of a mental thing. Yeah, we have the thinker. I think it's more of a mental thing. We have the thinker. Mental blocks, right? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, here and now. Focus on what you have to do now, right? The door is there. Let the door be open. You're not, you know, in the past. The past is not where you're at. You're where you are right now. You know, the future is whatever it will be. You're here and now. A leg up and no place like home. If you need help, you need help. You're allowed to let people help you when you're on the journey to becoming authentic, because the no place like home is the authentic self card. It's my favorite card in this deck. A leg up is knowing that when you're on the authentic path, there will always be people there to help you along the way. It won't necessarily always be the easiest of roads, but it most definitely leads to the best of destinations without all of the wasted time and effort in lessons, right? When you realize that it's a mental thing that you need to get over, a mental block, that you're not fulfilled and that causes stress if you leave, but if, you know what I mean, that whole cycle of, but not being able to stand it, you know what I mean, not being able to stand it mentally. But then being guilty and feeling guilty, maybe that's why you keep sticking around or going back and forth in your mind, you know, like wanting to go and then wanting to stay and wanting to go and not wanting to leave. You know, it's that kind of, you need to let the heartbreak energy go and jumpstart. If you need help, people will help. If you need advice, it will be given. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, you need to be on that no place like home path. You have to be able to want to be home and look forward to that, you know, not just your physical home, but yourself, right? Because the home is synonymous with the self. There's no place like self, just being yourself without all of the additional stresses and the emotional guilt. You just are who you are, you know what I mean? You got to get over that block, right? That mental block. Oracle of the Mermaid Spirit, closing guidance. What needs to be received? Secret code name Roadrunner. One card above all others. Alright, I guess I'm taking both. This is way more than I thought, Spirit. Alright. Yeah, air, wave of power, beauty, and conjumancy, which is the seashell divination or wisdom of the shells. And it's like, and whenever I get that card, it reminds me like how you can listen to the sound of the ocean inside of a conch shell. It's the sounds of the soul song in the deep. The sounds of the soul song in the deep. Knowing the beauty that's there, right? Knowing the beauty of you that is there in the deep. It says grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit. There is a beautiful version of yourself when you choose to listen deeply to what's right for you. It's like applying the golden rule of what you would do to others, what you would want done unto you, despite everything else, right? Despite your worst moments, despite your most misunderstood moments, like you can still be loved through them and seen through them and reach despite them. You know what I mean? So treat someone as if they're reachable. You know, that soul song down in the depth, we want to believe that that person in us is reachable. And so it's finding the power in that, the exhilarating upswing in power when you channel yourself so deeply. Breathe deep, enter into life, exchange life-bringing energies, giving someone air. You know, if someone's drowning in their own energy, you know, give them air. And if you would give that advice to anybody, then you need to also be able to take it. Like if you're drowning where you are, mentally, emotionally, if you're drowning, you need to be able to let others give you that leg up and give you that air so that you can breathe, right? To bring you back to life, bring you back to your beauty, that wisdom of yourself that you know that's deep. We have 32 twice in the cards. We have a lot of 4s and 3s. 4s, 3s, and 2s. 4s, 3s, and 2s all over the place. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Because if you can remember the beauty of life, if you can remember what you're here for, and it's not to be stressed out or not to feel guilty, like if you can keep that in mind and really focus on what's best for you, you'll find that in the long run it really was best for everybody else, because you're going to be able to give other people the best fucking life advice ever on how to just find your happiness by being and not feeling like the asshole just because others would perceive you as one. You know what I mean? For not bending or whatever to their wants and needs because you're so mentally stressed out you lost yourself, you know, feeling like you've lost yourself. It's not worth it. All right, so moving on. Secret code name Saguaro at 19 minutes and 25 seconds. Okay. Secret code name Saguaro. I highly suggest looking up saguaro cactus medicine, like the actual like spirit medicine it brings. It's really interesting. If you were drawn to this code name. So spirit, what is the trigger? What is the external trigger that would tempt to knock saguaro out of inner union, right? Out of inner balance. What is the external trigger that would take them out of balance? That would take them out of their manifesting union energies. What is the external trigger? Knave of Cups on the bottom and the Four of Pentacles on bottom, or on the top. Four of Pentacles on the top. Knave of Cups on the bottom. I think you're holding on to the idea that someone's going to reach out. I think you're maybe holding on to the idea that someone's going to reach out, or wondering if you should reach out. Because I'm definitely feeling like a stalemated situation from the Four of Pentacles. And I think there's this back and forth, like, do you wait for them to reach out? Do you be patient, or do you reach out? Like, how long do you leave it be? Is leaving it be a waste of time because there's nothing there? It's the cycle, right? It's the cycle in the mind. We have the Death card with the Fool and the World and the Five of Pentacles. And this explains exactly that. Okay, the Death card is about letting something go and transforming it, starting anew, only to have the cycle end and the world comes down, because this world is, it's an interesting card. The seas are rough ahead. Feeling like the seas are rough ahead. And then the Five of Pentacles energy is feeling misplaced or without a home, feeling alone or abandoned. So I think maybe you're afraid to let something go, because if you do, it's over, right? In your mind, if you do, it's over, and then you're without person or without place or purpose. And if you do jump into something new, it's almost like the threat of wondering if you've stabbed yourself in the back and left yourself abandoned, you know what I mean? Or left something abandoned. So you don't want either of the options in front of you. So the actual thoughts themselves about starting over or ending, like, all of that needs to stop. If you feel, because this is about manifesting union energy, if you feel that you couldn't start over with a new journey, and I say with a person because of the Knave of Cups, we're going to consider these communications that would be taking place more love and reality manifest, okay? Between the Cups and the Pentacles here. I'm feeling as if you feel like by choosing one, you're not choosing another. Like it's all or nothing. It's very black and white. When you're kind of just like allowed to do what you want, and anything that would close on you was never meant for you anyway, because anything that was meant to be open is technically always open. It's just a matter of alignment and trusting the alignment. This might also honestly be a fear of creating your own security, your own world, right? Like your own space where you're not dependent on others to help you financially, right? Because there's nothing wrong with having others help you, living with people, living it with family, friends. Like there's nothing wrong with it, you know, especially when the dynamics are great. It's just maybe the fear of, well, am I ever going to actually get the dream of having my own home though? You know what I mean? And not knowing if you're able to do that on your own And so it's almost like wanting to know that there's a partner to help you. You know what I mean? Like a romantic partner that's long term and fixed in its place. You know what I mean? As far as the soul song, that you guys would do it together. And maybe because you're afraid of not knowing whether or not you could do it on your own, you're not actually taking the steps that would create your ability to even give you the opportunity to create it on your own. Right? It's like snuffing it out before it has a chance to set off. Like, just take the steps. Like, if the steps get interrupted halfway, that's fine. Maybe even if someone comes in the process, like, they'll be all for you continuing it, which is awesome, because then you don't have to give up this newfound self. The transformation that you've gone through to complete this cycle about ending abandonment issues, because you will always be able to create what you want to create on your own, where someone is now just supplementing your life in an emotional way or a spiritual way, and not necessarily a financial security kind of way. So I think instead of directing your focus at who and what could end or what could begin, I think you could just let all of that kind of just sit and let time stand still on it, and just focus on what you're doing to create your best life, right, with or without other people. Because what's the unfoldment, Spirit? What else do we need to know about this? What's actually going on in the reality? Yeah, mending the inner child, right? Mending the heart space, loving the self, respecting the self, setting goals for the self so that you could celebrate the self. Regeneration, yep, that's that Fool energy and that death energy, right? Not being afraid to start over and begin new. Not being afraid to be this new self that is self-supportive, right? Self-supportive. Being your biggest cheerleader, planning for your success, because nothing's getting in the way of that. There's no actual distraction. Putting all the other stuff on the back burner, because if you're wondering about whether or not you should or shouldn't call somebody, if you decide, well, you know what, it doesn't even matter. They could be doing whatever the fuck they want to do right now, and that's fine, because I'm so focusing on me to the point that when I know I'm good, if they ever showed up or came back or decided to reach out, like, I don't know, I guess I'll just see where I am then. You know, I'm not opposed to it, not necessarily for it, but not opposed to it. I'll just see where I am then. You know what I mean? I'm hearing allow time to take its course and heal some things for you. You know what I mean? Allow yourself the time to mend some things within you. Having reason to celebrate. Yeah, it's your time to do shit for yourself. Get into your own masculine energy and give it to yourself, right? Your masculine energy is your ability to choose, take actions, decide, think about, focus on, be inspired by, and for you. Straight up. Straight up. You want to manifest union? You focus on regenerating yourself from the inside out. You take actions that will ensure, you take the actions that would ensure that you don't technically need anyone. And this way, anybody around is simply just because you want them there. You'll never be stressed out like that. Like, I'm sorry, the minute you are no longer a plus, positive, whatever in my life, I don't have time for it. I'm sorry. Don't have time for it. Like, I stick around you because I enjoy your company and being around you, and I would hope that you're around me for the same reason. You know what I mean? Because if we're gonna get along, why here? That goes for everybody, right? Family, friends, partners, it doesn't even matter. If you don't want to be around them, why would you want to be in a position where you would just honor your masculine. You gotta just stand up for your fucking self and build what you need to build for yourself. That is all you need to do right now. You want to manifest union, you just focus on you. You do you for you, boo-boo. You do you for you. Straight up. respect the part of you that is capable. Embracing the divine masculine. Like, men are known, or at least were known to be consistent with their work ethic, right? Known to be very consistent with their work ethic, that they can create any amount of wealth that they want to create by working hard towards it, right? By setting a goal, showing up, doing the job, you know what I mean? Like, being a man through it. It's like having to find that energy within yourself and being able to push through it and earn it, work for it, you know, take whatever steps, get whatever you need to make it lucrative, whatever you want to do and however you want to give back to the world, right, with whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever your job or your career or your craft or whatever entails, your gifts, your strengths, whatever they can create for you. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths. Don't focus on your weaknesses. When we focus on our weaknesses, it's because we want other people to fill them, right? That's all the distractive thoughts. If you're focusing on your weaknesses, you're trying to find somebody to help you fill your voids, because your voids and your weaknesses are practically synonymous. But if you're focusing on your strengths, then you're filling your voids yourself. You're filling your voids yourself. You manifest union. You manifest union. So, moving forward. Secret code name Genesis. 3113 on the timestamps. Alright, secret code name Genesis. And those who would resonate to it, right? Secret code name Genesis and those who would be drawn to it. Spirit, please. What is the external trigger? Trying to set Genesis off balance. Screwing up their manifesting, right? What is the external trigger seeking to set them off balance? What is the external trigger for codename Genesis? Alright, here we go. What is the trigger, please, Spirit? 5 of coins in the reverse. Definitely coming out reverse. Five of Pentacles is feeling without a home. So the trigger might be very well that it's within the home, right? Or with very much, maybe even because home synonymous with self, maybe feeling like too much, maybe too comfortable in yourself and not being willing to transform. All right. All right. Anything else, Spirit? Got the Emperor in the reverse. I feel like there's one more. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Ooh, there it is. Yeah, the Ace of Wands. Alright. Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. The Sun on top. Alright, so you know you're authentic as shit, and you also know you're slow moving, right? With the Knight of Pentacles. The underlying issue is you know who the fuck you are. I feel like you're very comfortable in who you are. You don't feel like you need to transform or do anything different. And with the Ace of Wands, it's a creative energy. Okay. It's a creative energy, specifically like Kundalini energy. I think there's two ways. There's two ways to look at this. Because Kundalini energy can be reached creatively in two ways. One is obviously through sexual interactions, which is a very fast and easy way to get those energies pumping. Because when you're in physical sexual union with someone, afterwards, it's like the next day or the day after or the hours after, like you feel like you could just tackle all kinds of shit and get all kinds of shit done. It's like it's a creative force of energy that triggers within the self. You can do it without a partner by getting into creative pursuits. But it's like metaphorically creating a baby, right? Creating something that is your baby or a longer term project. It's not necessarily instant gratification, but something that builds over time, that you work towards, that's consistent. It's almost like creating a long-term goal for yourself that brings out that creative kundalini type of energy. And I'm feeling like the trigger is maybe that you feel like it's that you're slow or that you're stubborn with that Knight of Coins on the bottom. But you're shining, right? The sun, you're shining like the sun. So the distraction straight up might be partners that are not emperors, right? Emperor in reverse might straight up be partners that are not emperors. They're definitely booty calls with the Ace of Wands. You're trying to transform that, right? You're very comfortable in yourself. You might just want to be creative and experiment and find a booty call. Just saying, just to see how your energy responds when you're just kind of detached and looking forward to just lighting your own energy up. That might be interesting to go into something with that mindset, especially if they're not an emperor, someone you want to rule life with, but that would be open to that kind of energy. You figure out how that best works for you. If you want to bring somebody else into it, or if you want to create a baby of your own making, right? Metaphorical babies. Whatever project or goal you have that you're setting. Let's see. What is the actual union manifest? What is this? Yeah, deep knowing. Deep knowing. I think instant gratification's great. Easy is great, but I think if you were building towards something, it might give you more of a sense of purpose and not always feeling like you're at a crossroads trying to find the next thing to do. It's like setting a long-term goal and exchanging gifts with the divine or others. Exchanging your gifts with others. Yeah, long-term pursuit. Something that you'd be able to give at the end and fulfill the why you're here. The why you're here. It's leaving behind something that you've created as a gift for someone else. As a gift for someone else. Who needs to understand what soul-driven magic is. Like, if you're so in your light that you could be of the mindset to create something of your own accord, right? To give birth to something, a long-term investment of your energy into creating something that you would be able to specifically leave behind for another, just simply because it was in your light to plan something, to plan this gift. It's almost like knowing how deeply moved they would be in hindsight, knowing at just how much time you must have invested in it. That you would have to build it over such an extraordinary amount of time and energy. There's no mistaking what they meant to you and what you felt your role for them was. something to get really excited about working on, because you know what's going to come of it at the right time, right? Oracle of the Mermaids, please, Spirit, what card above all others? Yeah, this is your time to do. Card had just come out for Saguaro. Honor your masculine energy. Honor your masculine energy and respect what men do. You know what I mean? It's your ability, because if you think about like the old school traditional view of what men should be able to do and provide, you know, it's providing insurance, it's providing a home, it's providing security, it's providing stability, it's being able to look at the long-term picture when, you know, maybe the female counterparts are all about the emotions and the now moment and how they feel about things, where, you know, men typically can commit to a job and a task even if they hate it every day, because they can, they're looking at the long-term goal and what they have for doing it and what it means to those people in hindsight, you know, to be able to say, well, you know, I might not have been around all the time, but I worked so hard, like you guys never had to worry about a place to live. You know what I mean? It's metaphorically speaking, it's that kind of energy, and they do it every day because they love the people in their lives, right? They want them to be secure and safe and all that stuff. They love themselves enough to love others in that way, and so it's almost like taking that on within yourself. It's like creating a beautiful karma insurance policy. You know what I mean? For the people that you care about, that you've put something of your life in for them, that they can use and remember that you left it behind for them, so that they would be better off. You know, that they would be better off. That they wouldn't hurt without you there, because you set it up that they could never hurt without you, you know? That kind of thing. Something residual. Something possibly residual that you can really build on. Residual effort will reap residual rewards. Lifetimes, right, energetically speaking. So I hope that helps. Next we have the King of Swords. 42, 32 minute mark. King of Swords. Alright. So for secret code name, King of Swords. Now mind you, the King of Swords in tarot, which flashed itself very clearly and quickly to me, is Aquarian energy for me as a reader. It's higher mind. It's matured thinking. It's being able to visualize the best route, seeing the bigger picture, knowing that everybody came from a path that was different, and seeing how they can all converge into one unified thinking, right, into one unified destination. How can you see the steps unfolding to know that the destination is going to be reached, that everything you need is present already on the board, even if you don't realize that you need it yet, or where it is when you do. Like, it doesn't matter. Bird's eye view or high perspective with King of Swords energy is being able to be non-reactive and be observant and be a very keen listener, especially in the divine mirror, see how other people are in divine communications with themselves when they talk to you. And to not take it personal, right? It's detachment. Aquarian energy highlights detachment as a positive aspect to use. So, Spirit, please, what is the trigger? What is the trigger from the external experience that would try and knock you off balance? Talking about Aquarius energy, we got the Star card, we have the Knave of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. the Knight of Cups on the bottom and the Eight of Cups on the top. You might be afraid to cut someone off or like break up with someone. Not because you don't care about them, but because you legit can't. They're not for you. It's not filling you or bringing you emotional peace, a sense of wholeness. I'm also getting this feeling of it's become way too much work. It's become way too much work. Whoever or whatever you're dealing with, someone maybe that you've been working on or working with, trying to help heal, trying to see their light, trying to help them shine, I think it's become way too much. I feel like Knave of Wands energy, you need to break free, like need to resurrect your Phoenix energy and get the fuck out of Dodge. You know what I mean? Like energetically speaking, moving forward away from whatever that is. Someone fragile, you know what I mean? And it's almost like you're afraid of abandoning your own fragility, right? Being afraid on some level that you're fragile and you don't want to break, which is why it's being projected at you like someone's fragile and you're trying to help them and you don't want them to break, when really it's because you're fragile and you're trying to help someone else to keep them from breaking, but it's you that's breaking, right? It's you maybe that's fragile. And you're giving way too much of yourself to the point that it could make you either mentally need to move forward, but physically feeling stuck in place like you can't detach. And yet it's not fulfilling, which is why I feel like you have this need to communicate a certain amount of severance. Even if it's not completely cut off, it's like really having to set healthy boundaries. Like you need to be able to focus on you. If they're not going to be able to take the advice or take the steps to help themselves, like you really can't invest any more time, energy listening to this kind of stuff or helping them fix, issues that they should be fixing or learning how to do. They need to research something, let them research it. Like if they need to connect with someone on a real note about certain things, maybe they need to talk to those people instead of talking to you about it. You know what I mean? Maybe they need to be a grown-up and handle their fucking shit. Just like you, right? You need to be a grown-up and handle your own shit. You need to be able to look at your own fragility, your own issues, and say, I am not this fucking weak, right? I'm not this fucking weak that I would let myself get so drained and scared to walk away from it that I can't find my fucking strength. You know what I mean? That I can't King of Swords detach and be like, you know what, just because I'm cutting this person away energetically now and standing in my power now does not mean it's not going to work out later. They're on a different path, right? They're on a different path, and everything they need along the way is along their path. They're not going to miss it. Like, it'll all converge at a different destination. Like, you can't be afraid to walk away from the shit that is draining the fuck out of you. That energy is what will knock you off balance. That energy will take you away from your highest manifesting, right? Your manifesting union from within the self. This kind of external energy being triggered from around you is what's causing the distraction from manifesting your best. So say fuck it, you know what I mean? Say fuck it, let it go, move forward. Fuck it. It is draining. Fuck it. Maybe she's right. Maybe I need to just, whatever. Yeah, you need help. You need fucking help sometimes. You're not everybody's lighthouse. You sometimes need a lighthouse. Sometimes you got to be your own lighthouse. You need people to help you sever from certain people, to help share responsibilities. Talk to them. Be like, listen, I really can't continue in this way. Can you help me because this would help them? Can you help me in this way because it would help them? And if you help them, that's helping me. This is draining me. And if it's not going to drain you to help me in this way, can we please look at that as a solution towards something? Like anything. Anything. Allow someone to point you in the right direction. Specifically, I am getting your parents. All right. Not, this does not mean necessarily financially, but maybe advice. Like maybe advice they've given you wasn't necessarily incorrect, even if it was worded or you received it at the wrong time and you weren't ready to hear it. Maybe they weren't entirely wrong. Maybe they love you and they care about you and they see things that you didn't. Because you saw someone's potential just like they see yours. You see how the mirror works? They see yours, but you don't see it. Just like you're seeing somebody else's, but they don't see it. Think about it. What if the person you've been helping actually listened to you? What if you actually listened to them? What if? And what if by doing that you weren't losing something forever, but you were letting the healing take place? You were letting the rebirth and the phoenix energy take place for you and them. You were allowing the mental turbulence to be moved away from into calmer, peaceful states of mind. Actually creating something stable to hold on to. Creating and manifesting from a stable place. What if the bigger picture, King of Swords, what if the bigger picture is that maybe it's okay that someone's right and you didn't know it at the time? Maybe you refused or defied it. It's fine. Fact of the matter is, it wasn't necessarily wrong. And you having to go through that experience wasn't wrong, or you wouldn't have gotten to where you are realizing it. You understand? So, just like your parents would forgive you for having to heal and learn however you need to heal and learn, you can also forgive yourself and trust that they will heal and learn whoever it is that you're dealing with and caring about, just like you did. Just like you did. When you realize that sometimes people love you and care about you, they tell you certain things. It doesn't always come out right, but it always comes out from the same heart space. It always comes from the same fucking heart space. That despite everything else going on, still fucking loves you. You know what I mean? So, Oracle of the Mermaid, Spirit, please. Yeah. The third time this card came out in a row. Honor the masculine. The masculine aspect of yourself. I will have this conversation again, because obviously it's being drummed home with this new moon energy, this manifesting union energy. People cannot forget about their own masculine energy that chooses and creates the best possible life for themselves and everyone they care about. They take it as their responsibility to create the best life. It's on you. You want a beautiful house? It's on you. You want a beautiful family? It's on you. You want a beautiful partner? That's on you. You got to be a beautiful partner. You got to build towards a beautiful home. You have to create a beautiful career that you can go to every day. You have to maintain beautiful friendships by being a beautiful friend, an honest one, a considerate one, making the choices, right? If you were, man or woman, it doesn't matter. If you were a man in the highest regard and respect, embody that energy. Embody that energy. Hold it within yourself. That's your masculine energy. That's your masculine vision of success. Well, you have to hold that within. What's a strong man look like? What's a successful man look like? Someone who handles his relationships, someone who is considerate and emotionally supportive of their partner. You're looking at what a successful man is in your mind. And whether you're man or woman, you have to say, I'm going to embody that energy. That's your masculine energy. I've got to create the best life for myself and the people that I love, even if they're not in my life yet. Because maybe I want to have this partner, maybe I want to have kids, or maybe I want to have this home or live in this place. Maybe I grew up in the city and I want to live out in the woods by a lake. Maybe I've been in the country my whole life and I want to live closer to town and I want a backyard that's fenced in and I can have a dog and shit. Like whatever it is that you visualize for yourself, you have to embody your masculine energy to get it. And embodying your masculine energy means not being so overly distracted by your feminine energy trying to heal other people, right? Shadow feminine, that you would try and heal other people to the distraction of your masculine energy that's trying to shine. Big card today. Hope that helps. That was Secret, codename King of Swords. That was Secret, codename King of Swords. Next, secret code name, Crackerjack, 5517. Here we go. Secret code name, Crackerjack. And it very much, when I got the visualization for the secret code name, Crackerjack, it was, I saw, like, the box, right? The Crackerjack box. It was like someone reached in and pulled out the prize, but the prize was like a legit, like a real fucking prize. Like, hey, you know, they have like those diamond candles, or when they're all done melting or whatever, there's a ring in there, and it could be anything from like a $5 ring to like $5,000 ring, like some crazy shit. It was almost like pulling the prize out of a Crackerjack box, and it was a ring. The prize was a ring, but it was like a big, gorgeous, like, legit prize ring. It was almost this feeling of being elated that you got the special prize. You know what I mean? That you got the special prize. And that you would be worthy of it, because the actual way I got it, it was like there was a hand that went in and reached, but once it pulled it out, it gave it to another hand. You know what I mean? It was like that kind of exchange. And I felt like you're worthy of being and having the prize. You know what I mean? The ultimate prize. Worthy of the ultimate prize. See, we get there in the end. All right, so this is secret code name Crackerjack. Spirit, what is the trigger? What is the external trigger for secret code name Crackerjack? And those who would resonate to it. What is the trigger that would take them out of balance and skew their manifesting, right? What is the trigger? Four of Swords, what else? Five of Coins reversed. Queen of Wands. I feel like I gotta keep going. Nine of Wands on bottom, Nine of Cups on top. You're focused on wish fulfillment, but feeling like you're up against a wall. Like you're on your last leg and can't take it anymore. You want your wish and you want it now. You're fucking tired. Right, you're fucking tired. That's the vibration that's trying to throw you off. Now, I have 3 different pieces to this, so it's probably regarding different areas of your life, so I'm going to go through them really quickly. First row is 4 of Swords, the 5 of Coins reversed, and the Queen of Wands. So I think where you want your wish fulfillment and you're fucking tired of it is knowing that you have been in retreat mode with yourself, that you might have abandoned yourself being in retreat for too long, and it's time to get the fuck out and be fire. Right. Time to be that Queen of Wands. Time to look forward, because that's exactly what she's doing, right? Even if she's blind, she's got lace over her eyes. It's like letting her third eye guide her in trust, right? No fear. Letting the third eye guide her in trust. It's like coming out of the shell. No retreat. You know what I mean? No retreat. It's getting the fuck out there, feeling like you know who the hell you are, and getting into that fire energy. Right? Because that's and that being the head one, that's being frustrated with the self, right? Being on your last wit's end with yourself. The rest, we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse with the King of Cups, the Devil, and the Queen of Cups. So we've got a couple with the Devil in the middle and the Knave of Wands, which might be you getting really fucking pissed off that, one, there's either a third party situation in between you and a counterpart, that there's just a shadow situation or some kind of karmic obligation to heal from, and you're fucking over it, right? It's almost like being tired of the inner work with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Being tired of the inner work, tired of the journey, and being afraid that the devil is doing its work between you and another, which is not necessarily the case. It could definitely manifest karmic situations, you know what I mean? Not getting out of that energy. It's like if you're at your wit's end with someone who you consider a wish fulfillment and you can't take anymore, what that's going to manifest is them finding someone who is karmically linked to them in order for you to heal. Like the King of Cups will find a Queen of Cups even if it's not you, because the devil will have it connect in soul song in order for you to heal. So if you're at your wit's end with something, just know that's the kind of shadow that manifests from it. And if you're afraid of that's what's going to happen, I'm telling you right now, that's probably what is. Because, you know, we got the Tower reverse with the Four of Wands. You're refusing. The shadow with the Tower reverse is like refusing to let the epiphany come in. Refusing to let the fundamental foundation of where you're manifesting from your shadow go. Four of Wands is about creating the joy and stability and the happiness within the self so that you can create it in the outer. You know what I mean? You can't give what you don't have. You can't create what you lack to build with. You can't build a house if you don't have the materials, kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's certain materials you need to gain within yourself, and I think the rest kind of spirals from that top row. So you need to get out of whatever retreat you've been in and go do what you need to do for you. Like, you need to just do what you need to do. You can't be wondering if somebody else is gonna take your place. You can't be wondering if someone's lying or cheating on you. Like, you can't be distracted. You can't be distracted. I think your biggest external triggers are coming from the shadow within the self that's needing to come out of retreat, that wants to stay in retreat, right? They almost want to stay in retreat and separate and just fester in the darker energy. So that was a lot of cards. So Spirit, what's actually manifesting beyond the triggers, right? Beyond the triggers. If you can overcome this stuff and just say, you know what, this is fucking crazy that I'm still even dealing with the shit, you know what I mean, that I'm even still dealing with these kind of energies and blah 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 within myself, like, I'm fucking done with it, you know, and just let yourself observe what the fuck is going on with other people. Be an observer of the healing, an observer of the journey. Observe yourself. Look at the part of yourself, like this fox is looking at the moon. Foxes are sly and sneaky, right? So it's like, look at the part of yourself that's hardest for you to embrace. Look at your moon sign. Look at the part of you that is the light attribute of your moon sign that is the hardest part of yourself to embrace. Because I promise you, you will find the answer there. You've been robbing yourself. Truth be told. Truth be told. Wisdom opens up the window of opportunity. You're worthy of the best possible prize being given to you. You're worthy of the miracle prize that someone finds and giving it to you without hesitation. Like, oh my God, they found it and it has to be yours. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be in that mindset. It's a mindset. Aren't you allowed to be so fucking special that without hesitation someone would not think twice but to give you the best prize that anybody could ever find in a Cracker-Jack box? Higher power. What you see here is what you're envisioning to happen. If you continue to focus on those thoughts, your actions will continue to create it. You've got to be able to look at the mask you've been wearing with yourself by not focusing on the hardest parts of yourself to embrace those light attributes that you have a hard time focusing on. Definitely call in your angels to help you see better and commit to seeing better, and to help guide you to the steps to create a better vision, because it's so easy to see a terrible outcome and freak out, and those actions happen naturally because it's all we've ever learned, right, to mimic since we were dealing with our childhood wounds being administered. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we've known. It's a matter of saying, hey, spirit, higher self, God, I need you to help me think better. I need you to help me visualize better. I need you to help me envision better. I can't let my thoughts run away with me. I really can't. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me. The truth be told, the higher power has its hand in everything. And when you look back in hindsight, I feel like you will understand why Spirit put you through so much, like, or aka your spirit put you through so much. And it's because you needed to reach that higher elevation within the self, that stability within the self, that fire, that blind faith fire in who you are, being able to accomplish everything and manifest everything. Like, you are a magician. The Queen of Wands is like the magician of the feminine energy in the deck. She's a manifesting queen. Her spirit energy, right, manifests everything she wants. She doesn't have to know how. She doesn't have to see how. She just knows her energy is so big and so bright and so authentic that she will create anything that she wants. She doesn't have to know a single thing about how. She just has to trust herself. Trust herself and who she is, that she will make the right call and the right choices because her spirit, her soul fire is aligned in the right place. It's balanced. It's balanced. What card above all others, Spirit, please? The present. Gift, treasure, revelation of your own value and nowness. Revelation of your own value. The present, I'm telling you, like Cracker-Jack, I was talking about the prize. The present. You got to be in the now. You have to know you are so worthy of the best gift now. Mindset's everything. No, I'm worthy now. I don't care if you have to say it to yourself a million fucking times a day for a week or a month until you make yourself sick. No, I'm fucking worthy, damn it. No, I'm not going to have that thought. No, I'm worthy of better. No, I'm creating better. I'm going to focus on doing this. Because if I'm going to be better and attract better, then I have to do better now. I have to be better now. I have to keep going. I have to push myself now. Failure is not an option. Depression is not an option. Anxiety is not an option. It's not an option. I don't want it to be an option, so it's not an option. It's like the revelation of your value. You're so powerful with your mind that you can create any day in any mood you want despite any and all circumstances. That's a fucking gift to understand that. How powerful are you? That there's nothing that could happen in this world that could actually shake your day and the way you feel about how you love yourself and all that you've done in this life. All the love that you've given. All the presents that you've provided. You hold the key, that's for sure. You hold the key. And you're sitting on the treasure. And I never noticed it before, but there's a message in a bottle right there. There's a message in a bottle right there. You know, the key looks tattooed on her arm, but it's like, what if the note said, hey, take the tattoo off your arm and put it in the lock? And she read it and was like, what the fuck? Take the key tattooed on my arm off and put it in the lock? Like, that'll fucking work. Right? Like, that'll never work. But what if it did? What if because she was sitting on that chest that it had some special whatever, and she had the ability to take the key off of her tattooed arm and put it in the lock? Because magic. It's no different. You have to believe that you hold the key and that the messages will come to you at the right time and guide you in the right direction with the right steps, even if they make no fucking sense. Because magic, your soul, you know, it's made of that stuff. Magic. The universe works like magic. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I have seen it work magic. I've seen it work incredible magic. All right. Moving forward, I hope that helped. Secret code name Ballerina. Is that 1 hour, 11 minutes, 55 seconds? I love it. Ballerina. All right. Secret code name Ballerina. And when I got the ping for it, the secret code name, it was the ballerina that was spinning around in a jewelry box, right? It wasn't necessarily like a live living ballerina. It was the ballerina that spins around in song and from the jewelry box. And it gave me this feeling of someone opening it for comfort, like knowing that their ballerina was there. You know what I mean? It was like a comfort thing, like knowing that you were in a jewelry box, which is like a valuable box, and it was your home. You were home in the valuable box, and someone was opening it to watch you dance and listen to your soul song sing. You know what I mean? Like they opened it as a comfort that your place in the special box for them was more than. It was more than just you being a ballerina in the box, you know? It was a comfort, something comfortable about your soul song. The grace of you, you know what I mean? All right. But at the same time, it's like being in the box. Only being appreciated when someone opens the box. No one else appreciates you in the meantime, or feeling like you can't be appreciated in the meantime, not being able to sing and dance all the time. 4 of Cups, feeling like there's missed opportunities. Feeling like there's missed opportunities. What else, Spirit? What's the trigger, right? What's the trigger that would take secret code name Ballerina off balance and keep them from manifesting, right, from a united place within? What's the trigger? Seven of Cups. So we got the 4 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. I feel like you're missing opportunities because you're in a state of confusion, and I think you're aware of the fact that maybe you're missing opportunities because of the state of confusion, which is kind of muddying it even more. We got the Queen of Cups with the Five of Coins. And I got the Justice card on the bottom and the Queen of Pentacles on top. The Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Coin to me is like a pre-Empress card. It's like a mother card for me as a reader. And with the circle here in flames, and there definitely being some kind of skeletons in the flames. It's like, and the key, there's this ring within a ring and there's a key on it. You know, the hair is kind of hanging down. I know it's blurry, but I'm drawn to it because it's almost like, I think that maybe you are the type of person in your heart space that for the people that you love, you would burn the whole world down. You know what I mean? You would burn the whole world down to love the people you love to the best of your ability, right? Whenever they would need you. It's almost like a fierce mother energy. And yet there's this underlying justice that needs to take place, and it's almost like needing to not feel the need to feel like you have to bring justice to everybody who you love that's been wronged, right? You don't necessarily have to be the love that balances all the wrongs that they've felt. Everybody hurts. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody struggles sometimes, and sometimes it's costly, right? People lose and they suffer, right? Whether they lose people and they suffer, they lose money and they suffer, they lose things or homes or cars or whatever, and they suffer whatever it is that they've lost. That you would love them. It's like you would try and make up for their loss in any way. It's just there has to be some kind of a limit. You can't allow your entire world to burn because somebody else's is burning. Like, you can only do so much. And I do feel like that ties in with the Four of Cups, Seven of Cups, you know, Queen of Cups, Five of Pentacles energy. It's like, I almost feel like you don't want anybody to feel abandoned. Maybe you know very farewell what that feels like, to feel abandoned by someone, to feel the loss. And so you don't want other people to feel that kind of a loss. However, you feel like maybe you're missing opportunities and there's too many different options or choices or distractions that time's ticking on, right? Time is ticking on all of these windows, and maybe you're watching all of these windows close, and it's okay because there's many windows, but the issue is all of the windows are closing, right? Yes, there will always be new windows, but all of the windows are closing, and so there's these missed opportunities, and it's causing you confusion because you don't know what to do. You can't stop loving who you love and giving what you want to give, but you maybe have to let the universe bring their good karma back to them in another way. You're not the only one, right? You're not the only one that goes through loss, and the divine knows when people don't deserve to lose, and they do, that it owes them a debt. You know what I mean? The universe is very understanding of what it does when it's not justified or unwarranted, and people also need to recognize how they created it, right? How their mindset and their ability to unlock their inner light can create for them or not. They have to understand how they manifest. So the divine, right, would have it. Without the triggers, we have an exchange of gifts, right? Exchanging gifts. Divine blesses. The divine blesses. It's like giving and giving and giving, and the universe is like, well, I can't give to you what you're meant to receive if you're in a giving mode. I need you to go into receive mode, which means I need you to stop over giving for a moment. You know what I mean? Stop over giving and being distracted by the giving. I need you to receive something. I need you to receive this gift. I need you to be flexible. I need you to bend. I don't need you to break, I need you to bend, right? The universe needs you to bend, and it needs you to follow the rules. It needs you to follow the rules. By the book is the 12 laws of the universe. You can give and give and give and give and give and be a beautiful person and love every minute of it and not want to stop. I know, I'm that way. You can give and give and give and give. It's all positive karma. But you need to take time to receive, which means giving to yourself. Receiving from the experience, you first start that by giving time and energy, dedication, focus, empowerment to yourself. And the universe is like, listen, if you're missing all these beautiful opportunities because maybe you're giving too much, trying to help right the wrongs for other people, maybe you need to go check something off your bucket list, even if it's something small, like go and fucking laser tag. Maybe it's on your bucket list. Maybe there's a place that you can go that's not that far. It's definitely not far enough to say the drive wouldn't be worth it, because laser tag is fun as fuck. You know what I mean? It's just the point. Like, I need you to be flexible. You can't just giving, and respect to receive if you're not in receive mode. Spirit's like, please be flexible with me. I need you to follow the rules. Duality. It's the universal law of gender. Everything is masculine and feminine. Everything is in a duality. Giving and receiving is a part of that. The universe needs to be able to give to you. So you've been in your masculine energy. You've been giving and giving and giving and giving and giving it to outside of yourself, and you need to be able to give to yourself so that you can receive. Okay? You could still love everybody with a fierceness. You just got to include yourself on that roster. And you can put yourself on the roster in rotation. You don't have to be first all the fucking time. You could put yourself in the rotation, though. You know what I mean? You could be a part of the rotation. Like, today, it's what I want to do. You could join me or not join me. It doesn't fucking matter, but this is what I'm fucking doing. Right? Allow yourself to receive from experience. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit, as guidance for secret code name Ballerina? Yeah, like, you can't just be special when someone opens the box and says, okay, it's your time to shine and be special now. Let's let you do your little thing and have your soul song. Everybody loves it. And then, okay, box closed. It's like, excuse me. I don't mind being special in the jewelry box, but, like, can you leave me just open on the shelf? Can you leave me open so that anybody, and leave the window open so that they can hear me outside? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be open today. Matter of fact, why don't you take me out the jewelry box, put me in your pocket, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to jump out this box and take the fuck off. Follow me. Like, but you've got to be able to receive. You've got to be able to let people do things for you, too, and plan for you. Be able to be flexible with your own schedule and be like, you know what? I'm going to leave this open in case they want to do something. I'm going to tell them I'm going to leave it open. And if they don't, that's fine. You left it open for them. You know what I mean? And then if they're not around, you do something for yourself in that time instead. You don't give it to somebody else. It was set aside for them. And if they don't take it, you get to receive it. Yeah, Soul Cage and Conjumancy. Which I was talking about this card earlier when you listen to the sound of the ocean inside a conch shell. It's about listening to the soul song from the deep, right? And it's that soul cage. It's you wanting to get out and rescue your own masculine energy. Like, you've got to give your heart space the strength to get your ability to choose for yourself and act out of the depths. You got to be able to give to you. Your soul song says, hey, you're supposed to be happy, too. You're supposed to experience, too. You're supposed to enjoy your life, too. It's great you're letting everybody else enjoy their life. It's great you're fighting with a fierceness for their happiness. What about the shit you want to do? What about the shit you want to do? Let people want to join you. You'll be surprised how fast, when no one or only select few do and the others don't, you'll be surprised where you find yourself wanting to put your energy. You'll see real quick how many fiercely, you know, people you're fiercely loving that wouldn't return it. It wouldn't show up for you, you know, over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not talking about someone can't make it one time. No, I'm saying if someone consistently doesn't show up or doesn't want to participate, like they want you to show for them, but they don't never want to show for you, it's like, okay, well, I'll show for you if I feel like doing whatever you're doing. But if I don't, I'm not going to show up just because you're you. I'm going to show because I want to, right? Because I want to do it. If I don't want to do it, I'm just not going to. You got to follow the rules. Be flexible with the universe. Listen to yourself. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Has to be interesting for you, enjoyable for you. You have to be able to make a great experience out of it. And if you think that's going to be difficult, or you don't want to, or you feel somewhere in there like it's a bad idea and you don't know why, well, then you just listen to yourself. Escape from restriction. I think this is why you're so confused. Maybe you've been helping everybody and loving everybody so long. Maybe you expect them to love you fiercely back, and they just don't need to do that because they're good. You know what I mean? Their life is good. They're not trying to necessarily fill anything, and maybe there's something in there that maybe you are. You've got to dig deep for that. Maybe you want other people to be how you are, which is why you do it instead of just simply loving who you are and what that does for other people, even if they don't understand it. You know how powerful that love energy is. You know what I mean? The simplest flexibility and mindset, the simplest shift where you bend but don't break. Do some tweaking. Do some tweaking around in your perspective. I guarantee you. You'll be able to create whatever it is that you want to create. Just don't allow yourself to be distracted. The trigger is having too much to overgive to and seeing your own opportunities to enjoy things go by. Like, oh, there's a concert and I can't go, or oh, there's this and I can't go. Like, why are you not typing to yourself? Especially if it's a money thing. Why are you not typing to yourself? Why are you not taking $5 here, $3 there, or your broken bills here, like, and your change from there, and just throwing it in a fucking jar that you will not fucking open, use, take out, whatever, until you want to go do something fucking fun. And it's whatever the hell you want to do. And if anybody wants to come, they can. And if they don't, we're not fucking changing the plan. Like, it's my plan. It's my plan. It's my that I saved up for. Like, you can share it with me and it could be great, or you can not the fuck come so I could be great doing it without you ruining it. Right? So it's just like, type to yourself, put some money aside that is just for you. Change adds up. Single dollars, fives, they add up. Just keep putting it away in there. Don't fucking count it. You're not allowed to touch it. You're not allowed to fucking touch it. You're putting it away until you are so ready, because you know it is so ready to have fun with. Yeah. Overflow that cup of love to yourself, right? Because it's only a matter of time before that fucker fills up. It's only a matter of time before you realize how much money you saved to go have fucking fun with. You choose. Okay? You choose. Ballerina. Make life beautiful with your soul song. Don't stay stuck in the box. Make life beautiful with your soul song. All right. Secret code name Golden Truth. 128.55. 128.55. Okay. So here we go. Secret code name Golden Truth. And those who would resonate to it and be drawn to it. Secret code name Golden Truth. What is the trigger? What is the trigger, Spirit? That would take them out of balance. That would take them out of that vibration of manifesting from a united place within. What's the trigger? The Lovers. Gemini energy. Choice energy. This image specifically, it looks like they're stone. And they're linked together. There's this intrinsic link between them, a truth key, but they're definitely back to back, and they're in their own mental prisons, for fucking sure. They've got shadows in the fucking mind, dealing with their demons. This is two hurt people that have hurt each other, or continue to hurt the other people, have hurt each other in their relationship, right? Not just themselves and all that they're creating. This is a shadow where, a card where the shadow is two people are acting and computing from a place of shadow, right? A place of clouded thinking, dark clouds. And we've got the Four of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Hermit. The trigger is feeling like you're missing out, getting into an argument, being conflicted with yourself, like maybe you betrayed yourself and you're just going to be a hermit. Go on the inner journey. Wearing this mask. Feeling like maybe you weren't in the wrong, when energetically there was a part of you that was in the wrong. Mentally you were in the wrong headspace to create what you wanted to create, or what you were asking somebody else to create with you, because you're in your shadows too. Both of these heads are in cages, and in the cages there's all this black smoke coming out. These are two cracked and damaged feminine heart spaces, two cracked and damaged heart spaces that are intrinsically connected with a key of truth, that have nothing but painful thoughts running rampant. And so there's a part of you that feels like you're missing opportunities and need to move forward, which, you know, sparks conflicts, it sparks arguments, feeling like you're missing out on something that you deserve to be experiencing, right? The void's not being filled. You and somebody else are not filling each other's voids. And so it's causing a separation kind of scenario where there's arguments or fighting, and feeling like it was a complete fucking waste with the Ten of Swords, feeling like someone betrayed your heart or you betrayed their heart, right? Because they're gonna look at it the same fucking way. They're gonna look at it like you betrayed their heart, or you lied to them about how you felt or how you thought. And you're gonna end up alone. That you're not gonna actually find somebody else besides them, because they are twin, right? Gemini energy with the Lovers card. You've got to free your minds, both of you, from the shadows that keep you from trusting each other and committing. Because everything is going to crash and burn. It doesn't matter who you're with. Everything will crash and burn until you handle this stuff. The clouded thinking, right? What is the actual positive, Spirit? No place like home, regeneration, the tribe, a message in a bottle. Yeah, you've got to be authentic and let yourself grow wherever you need to grow. You need to let experience love you for a little bit. Like whatever the toxic situation is, maybe you do need to let it go. Maybe not fear about branding yourself as going to be alone or being a head case. not branding somebody else as an asshole, because obviously you two have a lot in common on a heart space level. There's a lot of learning there. You know, this hermit, they're holding in like it's like a iron, but it's like a branding iron. It's like a hot poker. Don't brand somebody as something because you're blind to the healing. Do you understand me? Because if you don't, if you brand somebody a fucking asshole and start going off to everybody how they're a fucking narcissist, that, they use me this, they use me that, blah, 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 blah. If this person comes out of their fucking shadows, you decide you want to fix it one day because you're out of your shadows and maybe you're ready to take ownership, everybody's going to look at you cross and be like, well, why the fuck are you with that person? I thought they did this, I thought they did that, I thought they were this way, I thought they were that way. You're going to have to explain yourself. You're going to have to explain all this shit when really it's like, you know what? They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm sure we'll figure it out one day. And leave it at that. And leave it at that. Allow yourself to establish some roots. Allow yourself to take in some nourishment. Allow yourself to connect with your soul tribe, right? Your soul family. Allow yourself to take in some temporary hospitality, right? Energetic hospitality. Allow yourself to take in some hospitality. You'll get the message. You'll get the message you were meant to receive. There's literally a phone inside that bottle, so you might most definitely get a phone call to clear up whatever this is. A part of you might want to get triggered and maybe say some shit about somebody, but you know what? Hurt people. So if you're hurt by them, then you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting them by slandering them or trashing them when they're obviously going through some shit that they would hurt you. They're hurting inside, and we don't know from where, and you can't judge them on it and make them feel like shit because they're healing something they don't understand. You got to be of the bigger, higher mind and say, like, you know what? I don't understand what's going on in the healing. All I know is it's triggering for me and it's triggering for them, and we both need to just not do this anymore, right? Not do this anymore. Don't be afraid of the inner journey. Just don't go poking a hot fire and expect it not to fucking burn or spark or pop back at you. You know what I mean? Could light up everything that you were envisioning and burn it to the ground. Like, don't burn everything. You don't understand it all. How you talk about other people is a reflection of a conversation you're having internally within yourself. Yeah, experiments in Atlantis. Experiments is the manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, and arrogance. Like, if you would call someone a narcissist, all they care about is themselves. They don't actually care about me. They're lying to me to take advantage of me. Well, what the hell do you think your demons are doing to you? What the hell do you think your shadows are doing to you? Having a fucking field day because you're feeding nothing but them. You're not feeding trust. You're not feeding confidence. You're not feeding strength. You're not feeding a beautiful vision, right? Maybe you're loving only your ego that wants them to reciprocate, wants them to return it, wants them to care, wants them to this, wants them to that. Right now, it's like, who's the narcissist? You know what I mean? Making someone be something that they're obviously not right now. Who is egoically, narcissistically thinking they are so powerful that they can control another person and make them something before they're ready? Who's not getting all the love? From who? It's not you from them, it's you from you. Right? The divine mirror, whatever you would say about somebody else, is reflective of your own internal mirror conversation, whether you're talking to them or about them to somebody else. Master your mirror. Because if you're trying to manipulate the way a response comes about or a result comes about, well, if I say this in this way, they'll probably do this, which is what I want. But if I say it this way, even though it's more honest, they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? So I have to manipulate it and make it this way so I get what I want sooner. It's like, listen, manipulations come with a karmic price. Manipulations come with a karmic price. Your ego will shatter every time it tries to force something. So you can experiment all you want, but it's arrogant energy. It's arrogant energy, and you have to be mindful that other people will do that to you if you are also in that energy. You don't attract what can't resonate to you like attracts like. It has to be on the same vibration. There has to be a commonality in the mirror that you would reflect off of each other. It's just in different ways. It's just in different ways. It does not mean that the energy that you would accuse them of having is not the energy it's the energy you have within you too. You know what I mean? Atlantis is rapid development, excellence, and success. If you can see your divine mirror, if you can understand that, this is why Atlantis is one of those ascended civilizations. Because they understood it. They understood the mirror. And I've been going off literally about manipulations over this whole last week on Patreon with the cosmic currencies. All week we've been focusing on manipulation healing and not realizing that we're manipulating things, because people are like, oh, well, I'm not manipulative. Everybody will say I'm not a manipulative person. 9 times out of 10, if someone says, no, I know I'm manipulative, they're either jack crazy or they don't really know what manipulation is, okay? Because anybody who would manipulate other people, I mean, I guess they wouldn't actually say that to you. But my point being, everybody has manipulated someone for something at some point, not realized it. Everybody did. Whether you manipulated your sister when you were younger and told her that blah, blah, blah was real so that she would go and do this and you would get to laugh about it. It doesn't even matter. Like, you manipulated something. If you think that your choices of behavior or action in response to someone else could veer the course of action to work out a certain way that you want it and prefer it, then you're manipulating. You're manipulating, and it invites the shadow in, because it's not trust and surrender that it's going to work out. You think you have to do it a certain way. It has to be done a certain way, or it's going to this, it's going to that. And Spirit will tell you, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and you can't fuck it up. And you don't have to swim upstream and force it either. So keep your mind in check. Keep your mind in check. The universe is a master teacher. The universe is a master teacher. Our thoughts, they're not our own. They're shared. They're shared with higher consciousness. Nothing goes unseen. There's no thought that goes unseen. So you're either going to buy into them and feed them and grow on them, or you're not. You're going to let them pass right the fuck out. Like, I'm sorry, I don't see how that thought's going to benefit me to keep thinking about it. I don't see what actions are going to come from those thoughts or that mindset that could possibly benefit me. Trying to make something happen. Like, trying is a bullshit word. You either make some shit happen or you don't. You can either be honest or you can't. If you can't be honest, then you shouldn't be doing it. There's another way. There's a better way. There's a different solution. Especially with yourself, right? Being honest with yourself. Like, no jokes aside. All jokes aside. No kidding. I hope that helps. Yeah, I hope that helps. Let yourself be nurtured. Take some time off and let yourself receive some love. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Maybe that's the fucking truth. Maybe you just need a fucking break. Maybe it's just not the right time. It's too toxic or too conflicting. There's too much individual healing that needs to go on. That trying to do it together, it's an impossible task. Parts of the journeys we will always do together. Some of them we will always do separate. Some of them are for ourselves and we have to go through. We have to go through the solo journey. We have to go within. We have to separate our own selves for a specific period of time, whether it's a day, a week, a month, year, decade, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. Secret code name Virility. Secret code name Virility. I didn't know what the word meant, but I heard it clear as day when I got the code name pinged. And so if you were guided to this code name but don't necessarily know what virility means, look up the definition of virility. Look up the definition of virility. Okay, here we go. I did. I was like, what the fuck is that word? Is it even a word? I was like, before I give it as a code name to somebody's spirit, like I need to make sure it's a word. But they did. They said it real clear and like flashed it, virility. And sure enough, it was a word. It was a real word. It has a real meaning. All right. So spirit, what's the trigger that would interfere with the union energy, right? The union energy. We're going to start that. That was what? 105 something. Okay, I'm going to have to go back and get the actual timestamp for that. Virility. All right, spirit. What is the trigger? What is the trigger in the external that would try and knock secret code name Virility out of their balanced energy? We've got Judgment and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. With the Fool, the Two of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. Top of the deck is the Empress. Alright. You know you're the fucking Empress. Because that's the top of the deck, that's the conscious mind. You know you're the fucking Empress. The bottom of the deck being the Queen of Swords, though, means you're taking on a lesser energy or need to focus on this particular aspect of your energy, which means, you know, Queen of Swords is a calculating heart. It's calculated. The efforts made or words spoken come from a heart place that's sure that what it's saying and what it's doing is going in the right direction, even if they're not sure what the end of the direction is. Right? Blind. Blind. Eyes are covered. Letting your heart speak a certain amount of truth, not knowing what the destination is. Which is kind of like the opposite of manipulation, right? Which is what we were just talking about in the previous reading. It's allowing the truth from the heart to come out, but without expecting or aiming for a specific destination. It's trusting that the truth will just get you wherever it needs to go. Speak your truth. I mean, this is huge because the first two cards that came out were Judgment and the Ace of Swords, and they came out in the reverse. This is them upright. But they came out reversed. This is about making something a non-issue, refusing to bring it up. It's a non-issue, not doing it, not rehashing it, not up for discussion. Ace of Swords is the truth, not up for discussion. It's a non-issue. It's something that you have deemed non-discussable. No, there's no reason to discuss it. an issue or a belief or a pattern, right? There's no reason to discuss it. And she's looking at a mirror on the wall. Like, who's the fairest of them all? Like, you're the Empress, and I don't think you're acting like you're necessarily the Empress. I think the underlying issue is you're doing too much Queen of Swords energy. Because the shadow of a Queen of Swords would be calculating because you don't want things to appear a certain way. Calculating how you feel being expressed because you don't want it to appear a certain way. And if you don't want it to appear a certain way, then there's obviously some fear there. And if the fear is there, why? What is the issue that you're not allowing to be discussable with yourself? The Fool with the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. This is the journey, right? Having to take the journey, the initial step, because you know the ideal doesn't match the reality. The Two of Pentacles is about a juggling. The ideal doesn't match the reality. And you want this wish fulfilled. Nine of Cups. You want this wish fulfilled. Almost feeling like you're on your last shot, right? Because the nines are about completion. So it's like no more chances. No more chances after this. It's like no more chances. Always doing one more chance, and that's it, that's it, that's it. Like having reasons to quit. It's like, but your ideal doesn't match your reality, and maybe that's why. Because you're not taking a leap of faith into the idea of unlimited chances. The mindset of unlimited chances, that you can't screw something up with your heart's truth. You don't need to calculate anything. You just need to know that your truth is in alignment with whatever it is that you want to see manifest in the long run, even if you can't see how that's possible. You gotta decide what you want. You gotta decide what you want and what matters to you, and then be able to act in the creation of that. This Empress is creating with a soul fire she's not afraid to use. She's got knowledge and books with her. She's got her birdie friend, her companion, you know, like a little birdie told her. She's trusting what is being told to her through spirit, right? This bird is all white, almost like a shadow. Like spirit talks to you. Maybe quite literally in the 3D, right? It talks to you. It has its way of communicating with you. Signs, synchronicities, messages, friends, people, family, like things are said to you all the time. If you're gonna, you know you're the Empress, it's like start creating. Start creating from internal truth. Let it rip. Like just let the fucking truth rip, because that's the way. Right? That is the way. Truth sets you free. What is the path without the triggers, right? No distractions, spirit. Because that's the trigger trying to take you out of balance. So what if you stay in balance? Yeah, you're going to have all the help you need. You're going to have time to rest. And sink into your Cancerian, you know, kind of homey moon energy. With the moon card there, it's about self-nurturance and being able to relax. Being able to relax mentally, right? Emotionally, it's feeling safe. It's feeling safe. Yeah, go the distance. You're closer to the finish line than you think. You're not nearly as far away as it might feel or seem. I'm telling you, let the truth rip. You'll get all the help you need. You'll get all the support you need, whatever kind of support that is. I heard divine protection. Love yourself enough to speak. And trust that you might not be able to see the flag, the finish line. And I don't mean it's just not right over the edge of the next dune, you know what I mean? Threes, fours, and sevens. Okay. What card above all others, please, Spirit, from our Oracle of the Mermaids? We got Wave of Power, Yomaya, Water Flight, Falling in Love, and Adrift. Letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Kissing the divine in yourself. Heaviness lifts as your burdens are cast away. Grandmother energy. An upswing in your own energy, exhilarating movement, and a surge of power. Again, lots of fours and threes and sevens and twos. We got 42, 34, 14, 20, and 27. Then we got 34, 24, and 47 down here with the other cards. So you see the patterns. Universe, like I said, is speaking to you all the time. Yeah, allow yourself to float more. Don't let yourself be so calculating. If there's something that just needs to be said, then just say it. It's a burden in the spirit to be a truth that's unspoken. When I say unspoken, I mean it hasn't been made manifest and communicated into physical form yet via your choices. Kissing the divine in another and yourself. If someone, like, let's just say, for example, if someone loved you and wanted to be there for you or take care of you or invite you out and they didn't because they were afraid, that would suck, right? Especially if you kind of did enjoy them. If someone loved you and cared about you and enjoyed your company and wanted to invite you out, you would want them to reach out to you. You wouldn't want them to be afraid to call you and invite, you know what I mean? So it's, you gotta trust the truth. That what you want wants you. When you allow yourself to speak from a vibration of what you want wants you, you can't be rejected. You just have nothing but an upsurge of power. Knowing that you're being protected, knowing that all the steps are coming forward, that you're just going with the flow. It's okay if they say no, they can't make it. It's all fucking good. Maybe you'll ask again next time. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Stop calculating yourself. Take the burden off yourself. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Because I feel like that's exactly on point. Let go of control. Right? Let go of control. Nurture the self a little bit. Nurture it a little more. Go the distance for yourself. You're worth going the distance for. You're worth breaking your own records for. Okay. Next secret code name. Ink Blot. Alright, secret code name, Ink Blot. Ink Blot. If you were drawn to this message, ink, I was talking to the person whose code name this is. Ink as a symbolic energy. It's what we write with, but an ink blot is technically a blemish on the paper where the ink like splurts or splats or creates something that, if it were bad enough, like you might have to start an old writing, you know, when people were using calligraphy pens or stuff like that, like it was, you might have to start the page over because it's an error now on the page. Having to correct the error or the overflow of ink. Ink blot, I also thought of the ink blot tests where you see what you want to see, right? You see a reflection of where you are internally. Ink blot test. So, with that said, getting into the reading, Spirit, please. Spirit, please. What is the trigger? What is the trigger in the outer that would completely knock ink blot off balance, where they wouldn't be able to manifest from a united place within the self? What is the outside trigger? What is the trigger outside of the self? That would knock them off balance and keep them from manifesting their best. Really. Empress, Knave of Cups, Queen of Swords. I'm hearing you want somebody to come to you. You want somebody to come to you. I feel like somebody else has you in their prayers, though. Don't know if that's related. I'm getting this feeling from this Knave of Cups, like someone's looking over a balcony. Like looking down over a balcony. I don't know if that's significant for you, or if you know someone who like maybe lives in an apartment or a complex that has like a balcony, or a home that has a balcony. But it's that energy of looking down and over. It's longing and feeling almost like the damsel in distress in the tower. It could be your own masculine energy, right? Looking down at the world and wondering why you feel like maybe you're trapped in your own situation. Queen of Swords is about the heart's truth, and the Empress card. The other two cards that came out with it, we have the Knight of Cups, because we have the Knave of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and the Knave of Wands. I think the trigger, honestly, with the Knight of Cups, the Knave of Cups, and the Knave of Wands, I mean, it could very well be children. Children that are looking down and feeling trapped or separate from the world, like they're not a part of the world. Maybe they feel very separate. One might be acting out. There might even be angry bursts. Someone's not getting the concept of apologizing or hurting other people, which is obviously a mirror for you, right, to reflect in, seeing how maybe you don't understand how you've hurt other people or are hurting other people, like you don't understand how you're hurting them. My light next to me just crazy flickered. I don't know if that picked up on the camera. The Empress is also the mother energy. You know, I'm feeling as if maybe it's too like, what's the word? It's almost like, I don't want to say like a dictatorship, but it's almost like overly dictating in the environment, having your energy be I'm getting a feeling of like almost overbearing in a very cold way, that maybe you're dealing with so much of your own stuff, wanting to get out of your own headspace, which is what's reflecting in this card. Someone wanting to get out into the world, feeling like they're separate, feeling like they're far away. You know, it might be reflecting your energy in your mind that wants to get out and feels trapped, and is looking down at the rest of the world like everybody else is living their life and I'm not. You know what I mean? It's feeling separate. Everybody else has this kind of life and I don't. The one who's angry or acting out, not understanding how they hurt people, like that's, you know, part of you that doesn't necessarily understand how you're hurting yourself or the others around you by being in a more cold state, where you're just trying to run everything and keep it smooth and keep your head on, and there's not necessarily any fun or love actually being felt with the actions. Even if you're doing it because you love and care about others, it's not being received as love because the whole atmosphere is cold and of necessity, making it feel like you're trapped in the experience, or the others with you are trapped in the experience. And the experience is hard when it doesn't have to be that way. Like your energy is dictating the environment. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Swords. Top of the deck is the Five of Pentacles. And it's because you're feeling abandoned, right? It's because you're feeling abandoned and needing a mental break. And in the meantime, like, just know that you might be projecting this energy out at others where they're not a priority and they're feeling neglected and they're trapped in their own mental space because there's no one to receive how they think or feel and take the time to understand, right? It's almost like not wanting to hear it, or not really listening. Like you're listening, but you're not really listening. And it might be creating confusion in other people. It's like, how can you say you love me, but you never pay attention to me? Especially if they're not looking at the other things that you're doing as a thing of love, and it's more of an obligation, like keeping every day going and running the same way. And it's not about you making them understand that it is. It's about you doing what they understand that it is. I hope that makes sense. Really, I always got to continue shuffling. The Six of Cups is now on the bottom. These are sacred soul connections. Without the distractions, right? Without the distractions of these shadows. Because that's what they are. They're just triggering energies and triggering thoughts from the external coming into your space and saying, hey, focus on me. And you don't need to do that. So what's the actual focus, Spirit? Yeah, new life. New life. Every day is a new day. You are a new you. You're in a new house, even if it's the same house. You know what I mean? Because the never-ending story comes when you feel like it's going to run out. When the time's going to run out. So you have to be able to look at this new life like it's not going to end, because it's a whole new mindset. It's a whole new you. It's a whole new focus. You're not buying into feeling like maybe you don't have a place in the world, feeling like you're trapped, feeling like you can't attract anybody because, you know, or don't want anybody because they hurt you, and really you're hurting other people, and that's why Spirit's not bringing them into your life, like whoever you would want to connect to, like the loyal heart. Right, the loyal heart, the higher wisdom of the loyal heart. Hey. Lots of threes. We got 39, 37, and 35. Plus the Empress is another 3. And then we have pretty much all court cards. So you literally just have a whole bunch of 3s. Yeah, I think this is about bringing in a new loving perspective into your reality, because you are the mirror, right? Even her sitting on top of there, she has a mirror, like a little hand mirror, and she put it down because she don't like what she sees. She don't want to look at herself because she don't like it. But that's how you get into the never-ending story. That's how all the bullshit keeps going. And it's just a matter of time before it runs out. and you got to start over again. Or you feel like you're back at square one again, and life has to completely flip itself upside down and start over again. It's like if you don't like what you're manifesting, it's because you don't like what you see in yourself. And if you don't like what you see in yourself, you have to reinvent yourself. You have to reinvent yourself. You cannot stay the same person and manifest better than you've already manifested as the person you are. You will always manifest what your version of self is capable of creating. And if it's out of balance and you're being seen, you're seeing this, right, and the reflection around you, you have to be able to read the reflection and say, okay, this is what's wrong. I'm longing to get out of myself. I'm longing to feel a part of the world. I'm longing to participate. Maybe I need to do more to participate in my world. Maybe instead of longing to be a part of something I'm not a part of, I could just love where I am, and this way the longing disappears. The longing to be somewhere else disappears because I've created a place that I love here. So what's the guiding card, please, Spirit? The card above all others. Yeah, it's all about you seeing what you want to see, right? Codename Ink Blot. Yeah, reflections. I'm telling you, this fucking mirror. You gotta master the mirror. What you contemplate can actualize. If you contemplate a better home environment, you can do that. If you contemplate a better work environment, you can do that. If you contemplate a better love environment, you can do that. You can do all of those things. If you can contemplate it and you can think about it, there's a way to reach it. Requires some kind of action and a little depth with yourself. But it's worth it. The hatching is worth it. The new life is worth it, because the old way, it's just a matter of time before shit hits the fan. When you could be like, well, the shit's hitting the fan right the fuck now, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, the physical reality might look like the shit's hitting the fan, but you yourself and your energy don't have to be. Yeah, the shit's hitting the fan out there, not here. I'm rock fucking solid in here. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And then all this fucking shitstorm problem I'm having right now isn't going to fucking bother me. They're acting up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Does that mean you have to act up? What is someone really doing when they're crying out in frustration or anger? I need attention, I need love, I need to be noticed, I need to be heard, I need my feelings to matter. That's what you're going through, right? So if other people are in your outer experience that are dealing with these things, like, well, how would you need to be loved and nurtured if you were in their state? If you were in their shoes, dealing with them, you know? Or in their shoes, dealing with you. What if you were in their shoes? What if you were them, their age, from their eyes, looking at you and the walls, or the outside experience, looking at everything and hearing what you're hearing every fucking day, and you're like, you're observing from their shoes, with their eyes. You see from their position. How would you feel, right? Being them, dealing with you. How would you feel from their eyes? How would you perceive yourself? Would you be a liar? Would you be a crazy person? Would you be two-faced? Would you make false promises? Like, what are you seeing from their eyes, unbiased about yourself, if you were just looking at you and dealing with you from their shoes? And if you love them and care about them, is that the person you want them to see and receive? Because if you know you're better and you could do better, then you should be. You can't get lazy on your light. You can't get lazy on your light. Or you will see what you want to see. You will see what you want to see. Okay. Blot. All right, last one. Violet Submarine. Here we go. 134 minutes, 7 seconds. All right, Violet Submarine. Okay. Spirit, please. Your secret code name, Violet Submarine. And all those who would resonate to it and be drawn to it. Okay. Here we go. All right, Spirit. What's the trigger? What's the trigger in the outer trying to knock them off balance, trying to knock them out of their manifestation energy? Got the Four of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Wands holding on to a grudge. I immediately got holding on to a grudge. Either you're holding it against them or they're holding it against you, or vice versa. Something's not being let go of. Or there's some very logistical reason why you're attached to someone or have someone in your environment or your life or whatever. Like there's an actual reason why they're in it, and it's not because there's any emotional attachment there. It's because of logistics or finances, and you're just about done with it. Nine of Wands. Queen of Cups. What else? And the Three of Wands. You might even have someone who loves you and cares about you telling you to move on, and it's a distractive thought. It's not about moving on. I think logistically you're trying to hold on to the idea that maybe you can even cut something off because you can't take another wounded moment. You can't lose another battle. You might even have someone telling you it's safe to move on. Let it go, blah, blah, blah. And you're trying to look at it from a calculating place that makes sense in order to feel safe. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel like you're necessarily ready to let it go completely yet. I don't think you're wrong in feeling like you can't lose another battle, which means you have to pick your battle wisely. It might be the right thing to move forward right now, but not because you know it's permanent. We know when something's over and when something's not over. The Star. There's healing taking place. There's healing taking place. If someone in the outer is telling you to move on and you feel like you want to give it one more go, the chances are, if you want to give it one more go and you feel like you can do more than one more go, but you care enough about it to where like you're having conversations about maybe I need to let go, chances are it's a temporary thing. It's a temporary let go. I got the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is a slow reaching. This is slow progress. Someone's growing to understand how to connect with you and talk to you better. It's been a slow process. Understanding your love language with someone else and vice versa. Whatever you're going through is going to help you give you a perspective that helps you understand them, and whatever they're going through right now is going to give them a perspective and where they can appreciate you. Got the Hermit, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. The Hermit had originally come out reversed. So listen. I don't think you want to be alone, and I think jump-starting a new relationship is confusing for you. I think that's confusing. So this Queen of Cups that might be telling you to like move forward, whatever. Yeah, you can move forward. It doesn't have to be with someone else though, because that's confusing energy. It's distracting. I think what maybe you do need to do is just take a step back, because you know you only have one good fight left in you. One good go around left. One legit chance, one shot left. And so if you're going to take it, it's got to feel right. So just know that you have one battle left in you, one shot left in you. One more, and it'll come at the right time. And you'll know when to pick that battle and go for it. Because the war is banking on it. You know what I mean? The whole war. It's the battle to end all wars. It's like that kind of thing. You have one more solid shot left in you for something or someone. Which means you have to know that you're going to hold that for the right time. Because if you're going to go into battle, it's because you're going to win. You're not going to get hurt or lose the war. So you hold that last battle. You don't have to give up the whole war and not go to the last battle. You can just accept that maybe the Queen of Cups doesn't know that the last battle is ahead some time in the future, and you're not willing to put the war down. The war will not be lost. There's still a battle left. You just know when that's going to take place, and it's just not right now. It's not right now. If you were to go in now weary and tired and stressed out and fucking drained, the chances of you winning the battle that wins the war is slim. You know what I mean? It's slim. So go in when you are feeling at your best, knowing that you can take it on, right? Knowing that you will not lose because you're good. I had a feeling this card was going to come out for this reading. Imagine the dream coming true, like actually coming true. That you've gone through so many battles for this. That you've literally given it so many attempts to come out of this now ongoing war a victor. Imagine actually winning the war. Imagine winning. Imagine winning. Imagine laughing and smiling and reaching the dream. Like, holy shit. Like, holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, focus on the here and now. Focus on the here and the now. This is not about the past. This is not about the failed attempts or the past battles. It has nothing to do with them. Those battles might have been hard, but they did not break you and get you to give up. In the future, there is a war in the future, right? There is the battle that end all battles in the future, and you're going to come with it with your best preparation here and now. You can't focus on then. Future tense. You can't focus on then, because if you do, then you're not focusing on what you need to do now to get there. To make sure and ensure that you win in the end. You might need to detach right now. But I feel like whatever this is, the battle is not over. The battle, like the war is not over. The battles are, because there's only one left, but I think you just need to sit back and observe. Watch yourself. Watch your own reactions. Observe yourself in the mirror. Definitely, because we have 2 moons on the cards now. You see the 2 moons there. Make sure that you are tuning into the light attributes of your moon sign. Whatever your moon sign is, really get in touch with the light elements of that. Like me being a Cancer moon, like I have to self-nurture. I have to self-nurture. I have to love myself and do things that I feel really good about doing, that I could be proud of myself for. Whether it's taking the time to straighten my hair, or if it's cooking myself a decent meal, or if it's going outside or meeting up with someone that I haven't spoken to in a while that I'm so glad I got to catch up with, like whatever it is, painting, drawing, you name it, like it doesn't matter, getting involved with my my little herb mixes and shit, you know, like I have certain things that I do that I love myself through, and we all can do those things. Like I love my work, because every time I go to work, I love myself through my work. I love how I feel when I work. I love it. So I do it. Nobody has to tell me to. Like, I'm literally my own boss. You know what I mean? Nobody makes me go to work. I choose to. I choose to because I love this. Like, I love what I do. And so love yourself. Whatever feels good to you, whatever empowers you, whatever makes you feel great, whatever makes to do it, right? And to be able to do it, to whatever it is that makes you feel good. When you look in the mirror, whether it's with a face full of pretty makeup or you all worn out and sweaty and gross and a hair in a fucking mess because you had a great productive day. Make sure that whatever you're doing, you can look in the mirror and love yourself for it. Truth. So, what card above all others? The return of Aphrodite, telepathy, and the magic of the Kohelan Druith. These are some cards right here. If you weren't on the twin flame journey, you are now. Just saying. Because just the energy that I was pulling on and between the telepathy card, whenever I do get guided to this deck, the telepathy card always reminds me of twins. There's certain cards in this deck that remind me of twin flames when they come out, and telepathy is one of them. Whoever this person is, that you have one good shot left for like, you have one good chance left in you for this person, if the conditions were right, to go to battle and try and win the war with each other. Not against each other, but with each other, right? Winning the war. You're going to be getting nonverbal communications. You're going to be feeling like you're tuning into their energy. You're going to feel like they could feel your energy. You might be having dreams about them, lots of daydreams, vice versa. They could be dreaming of you. Like, Spirit's going to keep you connected while you're apart. Spirit is going to keep you connected even when you're apart, because the feminine energy, the heart space, is divinely connected between the two of you. You share the same heart space, the same feminine energy. So there's a telepathy there. The return of Aphrodite is bringing back your most sacred energy. Like, you are a goddess, right? You are a goddess, a very sacred goddess, and should treat yourself like one. You know, this is not the go out and just meet somebody and do whatever and blah, blah, blah. You know, unless you're treating your body like a sexual temple and jolting its kundalini energy, and that's just the route you go with it. But your body is sacred, right? Your body is sacred, and it should be treated that way. Like, it's not just for anyone or anything, and you're not just going to go find someone new. You know what I mean? If the Queen of Cups is like, just go move on and find someone new. Like, no, my body is sacred. I'm not just giving it to anybody. Like, I'm not just going out there and find someone because I'm pissed off at this person. No, I fucking love this person. This person and me are not in the right place. And that's fine, because I'm just going to better myself and my position now. Because in the meantime, I think this card is like a warning from Spirit saying, hey, you're a magical person. You're a twin flame. You're a magical person. Your heart space is huge. There are lots of other people that would use you for your magic. This is a caution or a warning to be wary that other people would use you for your magic. And if your magic is sacred, if your love is sacred, don't let motherfuckers use you, because they will. They will take all the love you have to give and all of the ego boost that you could offer, and then they'll just fucking do what they do. And you're going to want to go back into your soul cage, which is an unfortunate part of the story with the Kohelan Druith. It's actually a really cool legend, the myths. You've got to remember, you're an angel in your energy. You're an angel, legit. You're someone's fucking angel. You're someone's angel, like legit 3D in earth, their guardian angel manifest. You are that person. And I think they are yours too, because they've gotten you to the point where you have one last go around for them. And in the meantime, you can't focus on them either, which means you have to focus on yourself. Because if you're gonna win the war at the end, you really do got to go through your own inner training and complete the training and feel good about moving forward to the actual setting to where you win. And when I say win, I don't mean one moment where you win. I mean the actual victory where you win every day. Because that's the war, being in a vibration where you can manifest that you love where you are every day. You're tired of putting yourself in battles where you feel like you end up where you don't want to be. You want to be, I think, with this person. And so it's like, okay, well, if we're going to attempt that one more time sometime in the future, then I got to be at my best. I can't come back the same person, just like they can't neither. Just like they can't neither. So I hope that helps. All right. I hope that helps, guys. That wraps up all of the new moon in Libra secret code name readings. Make sure, if you haven't yet, that you find me in the description at all the different places that I am. I just started the literal first Twin Flames group on MeWe. OG, original group. That's my shit right there. So if you join MeWe and you are a part of the Twin Flames community, you can join us in the Twin Flames Souls Journey. And it's Twin Flames Souls Tribe. That's what it is. Twin Flames Soul Tribe. So join us there. And in the Ascension team, all on MeWe. You can join me and the rest of the team on the Ascension team on MeWe. And if you want more from me, cosmically speaking, I would highly suggest and recommend joining me on Patreon, because I do my currencies every day there, and I'm going to start unloading a slew of extended readings and exclusive readings that are just for our Patreon. I'm also going to be talking about my own Twin Flame journey exclusively on Patreon. So if you want to know about manifesting union, you can find me on Patreon. All that shit will be there. I do not doubt you following me on Patreon will get you exactly there. Inner union within the self. So, till next time, guys, I love you all. Love each other always. Love yourselves always. Racy out. Bye, everybody.